Hey, good to see you again, long time. Listen, we've got 32 rounds, okay? 30 seconds work with 20 seconds rest. I've given you a longer rest because you need to be able to swap from the TRX to the kettlebell, okay? And it's just legs and abs today, all right? Remember to like and subscribe. Do not forget to warm up. And hey, let's go get it.
Some key points to remember when doing the floating lunge. Avoid pulling on the straps. Keep your working knee behind your toes and launch off the heel of the working foot. And if you need to, land your knee on the ground for stability. Points to remember when doing the angel wings is to flex and engage your core. Also moving your hands from the waist position to the overhead position and keeping a tight plank position and squeeze your glutes. Key points to remember when doing the kettlebell swing is to hinge and plank. Hinge and plank. At the top of the movement, make sure you squeeze your glutes and embrace your core. Doing the forward lunge, keep your knee behind your front toe and lunge as deep as you can, but don't over lunge, and always maintain strict core tension when raising your arms above your head.
Exercise.
More key points to remember when doing the angel wings is to stay on your toes when you're in that plank position and squeeze your glutes and core as strong as you can.
Exercise.
Okay, so always remember to hinge plank. Keep your arms long, soft elbows, and squeeze your glutes as hard as you can.
Exercise.
Okay, here we go again with the floating lunges. Keep your knee behind your toe. Avoid pulling on the straps and launch yourself off the working leg, which is the front leg.
exercise,
Key points to remember when doing the racked squat. Sink as deep as you can, and at the top of the movement, squeeze your glutes and keep your elbow tight to support the kettlebell.
exercise,
When doing the tiptoe squats, flex and tense your core as strong as you can. And when you squat, stay on your tiptoes. Squat as deep as you can and keep your arms outstretched.
exercise,
Key points to the staggered deadlift is to keep the working leg straight and the supporting leg bends when you hinge to lift the kettlebell.
exercise,
Key points to doing the back squat is to have a little bit of a wider stance than the usual squat and support the kettlebell on the back of your lats. Sink as deep as you can and try and keep an upright torso when doing so.
exercise,
Another key point to remember when doing the tiptoe squat is when you sink, squeeze your glutes and your quads and then drive out of the balls of your feet.
Exercise.
Other key points to remember when doing this exercise is to squeeze your glutes and engage your core when lifting the kettlebell.
Exercise.
Remember when you do this exercise, sink, then squeeze, sink and squeeze, and keep your elbow tight to support that kettlebell.
Exercise.
Remember when you squat, at the bottom, squeeze, then drive out of that seated position, and then again, sink and squeeze.
Exercise. Rest.
Key points to remember when doing this exercise is to keep the working knee behind the front toe on the deadlift, and also return the suspended knee to meet the standing knee. Other points to remember too is with the standing/working leg, flex and squeeze your glutes and quads as strong as you can, and really drive out of that lunging position to complete the movement. Again, when doing this movement, the stronger you squeeze your glutes and quads, the easier it is to stay in balance to complete the lunge. Key points to remember when doing the curtsies is to avoid pulling on the straps, and with the floating leg, drive that knee behind the heel of the working leg. I think you know what I'm gonna say. Embrace your core, squeeze your glutes.
Exercise.
Support that kettlebell by using the crush grip and sink and squeeze. Sink and squeeze.
Exercise.
Here we go again, guys. Sink and squeeze, but focus on the front of your quads when you squeeze and avoid pulling on those straps.
Exercise.
Another key point too is that if you want to intensify this exercise, get onto your toes when you're in that plank position and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
Exercise.
Key points to remember when you're doing this exercise: really flex and squeeze your quads and glutes and your core when you're sinking into that squat/lunge, and keep your elbow tight to your body to support that kettlebell. Remember when you're doing this exercise, sink and squeeze your glutes, your quads, and your core. Key points to remember when doing this exercise is to keep your arms long and drive your butt to the floor and explode out of this squat. Key points doing the pistol squat is to squeeze and flex your quad and glute muscles before you descend into the squat, and also avoid pulling on the straps. Also remember, when you're in that seated position, drive out from the heels and really squeeze at the top of the movement. do this exercise, hinge and plank and squeeze at the top of the movement. Squeeze your glutes and your quads.
Exercise.
Key points doing the pistol squat is to squeeze and flex your quad and glute muscles before you descend into the squat, and also avoid pulling on the straps. Also remember, when you're in that seated position, drive out from the heels and really squeeze at the top of the movement.
Woo! Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching my channel. I'm KettleBell. Please remember to like and subscribe, and always cool down after every workout. Alright, thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.